Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to this celebration where we will celebrate these certified change leaders of ours. And we have gathered us this day, and this is a day to acknowledge the achievement of all the fantastic participants who have passed the course, the certification courses for Business for SDGs and the Certified Impact Auditor course, and also the certification course for change leader within diversity, equality, and inclusion. So put on your party hat and bring your glass, and we will cheer upon these amazing people who has passed these courses. So this event will give you a great opportunity also to get hands-on tips and tools for how to walk the talk for sustainable development and make an impact in the what we call the next normal in business. Because what you will meet is inspirational business leaders, impact auditors, change leaders, and sustainability managers within the field of sustainability, diversity, equality, and also inclusion. And you will learn how they make an impact in society, in business, and in their environment. So I'm so happy to be here with you today. And my name is Eva Voti, and I will be your host for today. So there will be a couple of people you will meet, which are Anna Johansson, who is a Quality and Sustainability Manager at GRANULDISK. Maria Svantemark, who is the co-founder and CEO of SustainLab, and also Robert Bengtsson, who is the founder designer on Smart Form Sweden and Smart Evolution Sweden. Sarita Dronamre, sustainability consultant and ambassador, and also certified impact auditor. And Per-Olof Hall, who is a company owner and consultant at Planet People, and Nina Kern, strategy director, and Maria Lindberg Howard, a sustainability change communicator and also Business for SDGs change leader. So I'm really, really happy to have you all here. And I'm so excited to know who's here. So please write something in the comments field, who you are, where you're from, which country, and also interact with us. If you have, ask questions. If you have anything you are thinking about or you want to share some insights within sustainability, just write it in the chat and interact with us. So there will be opportunities for you also to ask questions for to the participants and our guests. We will also tell you a little bit more about these courses, which I just mentioned. There are 3 of them: the Business for SDGs Change Leaders, the Certified Impact Auditor for ISO 26000, and the D&I, the Diversity, Equality, Inclusion Change Leader. And the reason why I'm going to tell you about these courses is because we are launching them, opening them up right now, this day. So there will be opportunity for you to enroll in the courses. And we also have a challenge that we will reveal, or we will raffle the winner of the challenge, where you can win one of these courses for free. So it is going to be an exciting day. Let's see, we have the first participant here, or the guest, which is Sarita. And Sarita she is a sustainability consultant and ambassador, and also a certified impact auditor. And Sarita, she has more than 15 plus years of experience within IT and fintech payment industry, from building payment solutions to managing the full life cycle of payment products and services. And she has also played a multiple role and worked across different functions within various organizations. And let's see if we have Sarita here. Sarita, you are welcome to join the stream. Let's see, I will add you here. So here you are, Sarita.
Yes.
Welcome to this
Thank
day
you.
to celebrate you as a certified impact auditor. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so thank you, Eva, for giving me, first of all, this wonderful opportunity to be part of this course and also this celebration and all. And a very warm welcome for all the participants who are joining us live, although I can't see it, but I'm hoping there are many, many hearing us today.
Yeah.
So a little about myself. I think, Eva, you already put it a very brief. So I am working in the payment industries, and I have past 15 plus years of experience working in the technology, product, scheme, risk compliance. And so right now, I think I'm focusing on more on the financial aspects of the things. So for me, what interested me with this particular course was when I'm working in the payment compliance, it's very strict rules. Like I mean, you have anti-money laundering rules. You have a lot of compliances on the payment front. It's very like strict. And for me, of course, the natural was more for me to find a way to know like how we can actually do sustainability, what sustainability means, and where to start the journey. So I started my personal journey sort of to say back in 2015 when I sort of gave birth to my first child. And so I started to do some little and small changes in my lifestyles to make it more sustainable. And I did not know at that point in time what I could do as an individual to make a bigger contribution. So I think if you remember, Eva, I do not know, but I think 2017 or 2018, I think I messaged you on LinkedIn.
Yes,
Okay. I see that I as an individual, I'm making whatever possible I can in my little, capabilities, the changes. But how do I, as a individual, can I make a bigger impact on this UN sustainability goals? How do I translate it? And I think that time, of course, you did have the company, and also, I guess, probably, that's was thing. But after a couple of years, I see also, Eva, you came up with this company, and also the beautiful, the courses and the certifications. And for me, it was bang on. Like, okay, this this is it.
Yeah.
So this is it. Like now, I found some more concrete way of getting into knowing. So for me, it was like a journey that I was also having from my personal. I also like procrastinated a lot. Like, okay, who am I to tell the world, okay, what they should do or these things? But I think I felt that, okay, more voices needs to be heard, and the more voices needs to come out. And that's where my motivation for learning a little bit more about the sustainability and learning more about what this all about, and more of the bringing that awareness into the picture. And that brought me to this course, and that brought me to also this compliance and auditing course to see, okay, what does that mean? And I think most of us who have come from a compliance background, maybe it's a payment or maybe an environment or maybe in another aspect, you would see this particular course, you would also see it's a different standard requirements, right? Like I think it's not that strict. It's more you are trying to navigate your way into the things. So.
Yeah. So actually it is, I mean, it's the standard ISO 26000, which is the guiding standard for companies. And if you just reflect on that, what would you say, what is beneficial for companies to work with this standard?
Yeah, I think with the standard itself, like I see it as like, it's like a compass. When you're in unknown terrain, you do not know, like I think all of where you want to go. So it is like a compass which would help you to go into the direction that you would like to. However, having said that, it is a guiding standard. And ISO, of course, it's quite a holistic picture, and I think it takes into lots of considerations for the environmental, social, and the governance aspects of the things. So it is a guiding standard. But if you know the nuances and the mechanisms of also the standards, or I would say even like when you know the mechanisms of how the compass work, that also would help you to bring in more tools to your organization, to step up a little bit more in your sustainability work, whether it's called a GRI or maybe you're taking a support depending on which industry and you're coming from. So that makes a bigger difference. So holistically, it's a guiding standard that will help you to kickstart your sustainability work.
Yeah, right. So and now you have been educated as a impact auditor. And for those who are with us today and watching, what would you say characterizes being a certified impact auditor for the ISO 26000 standard?
Yeah, for me, I think for me personally, I would say like I think the auditor in this case is again, it's not a strict is this compliant or not, this is compliant, but it is more about ensuring that the companies are following the guidelines and following the it's not rules, I would say guidelines to accelerate their work or to kickstart their work into their journey. So for me as a verifier, I think it's also to see that possibility, to see where the organizations can improve their work and providing that recommendations and guidelines forward to them to help in their journey, I would say. So, and on another notion also as auditor, I think in a sense, we talk about a lot of greenwashing, and I think that's also very important because I look at, if I really have to translate this, I think what I would say for the 3 takeaways or something from the course is basing your audit on the context and not on the content alone, because we need to take also the local diversity, considering the societal, environmental, legal, cultural, political, organizational diversity. So this needs to be taken into considerations, but whatever, so that's for that reason, it's very important to understand the context in which you are actually applying these guidelines. Number one thing for me. Number 2 is basically understanding the positive and the negative impacts of your actions and going beyond the legal compliance to set your more ambitious targets towards that. And third thing for me is also, it's very important how when I'm looking at it, is 2 other things which comes to my mind is the organizational structure and how the prioritization is happening. And so these elements are really important as an auditor to look into.
Yeah, great. Thank you for sharing that. I just want to shout out to the audience also that if you have questions for Sarita, just write that in the comments field, and we will bring that up. But we can see we have, hello, Jose Luis. Good morning from Rio de Janeiro. Good morning. And we have Dave. He's also here from Ireland. Let's see who else is here. Johan Beckman. Hello from Gothenburg. And Helene from Vinslöv. Welcome. We have Thomas from Hong Kong. Wow, welcome, Thomas. And also, let's see, Anne from Salem outside of Stockholm. Welcome. And we have Martina. She's from Malmö. And who else is here? Let's see. Robert, he's one of our guests, and he is from Höllviken, south of Sweden. He will join us in short period of time. So yeah, if you have questions now for Sarita, just take the opportunity and ask her questions. But Sarita, I'm curious now. You have done this course, Certified Impact Auditor. So and you told us about your dreams when you had your first child and back in 2017, 18 and so on. So what are your dreams now for the future? What are you dreaming about? Or
I think for me, I think it's again, I will not use any fancy words. For me, it's more about getting awareness and being a part of the solution is where I look at the things, and to be able to concretely translate on it. Because for me, again, like, this standard is a guiding tool, but you can use it in multiple ways. I have used, for instance, in an organization, so I think this gave me an insight through which I was able to contribute to, the diversity and inclusion chatter for my organization, for instance. And you could, there is a lot of depth you can go into, because it's like, it's a starting point. But then as you read more and more, you would get more insights. And depending on which area you want to focus in, it really helps you. I was able to relate to my work much more than ever before, because I see that, like, for instance, goal number 16 is where, I have been spending all my 15 years. I have not probably knew this, and a lot of people might have not known about it until you relate. And I feel a more relatability to my work, because I know what it translates into. Whether we are fighting for, whether it's a fraud or like even the compliance and stuff. So I can relate. Oh, this is how we are actually contributing to the world. So, and I think that's what is good thing. And also, I was able to use this guide as, for instance, it need not to be even on the organization levels. For instance, how I saw this guide was also to help me in putting even the organizational structure, even at the team level, let's say, at the department level and the team levels, to see, okay, what is more important, and how does the governance structures plays important role in the team that I'm managing. For instance, it need not to be like the entire company or organizations, but taking those nuances from this guide and applying it. I'll also give you another example how I use this guide was also collaborating. When you're collaborating with the social partners, you see, like, okay, these are your goals, and this is how these are the goals organization is aligned with, and you only would probably gonna talk to the organizations which are more relating to your goals, so that you can together make a bigger impact or a bigger change. So there are a lot of elements of this. I won't say necessarily it has to be only verifications or these things. So every topic, if you bring in, you can even bring it like even every individual level, or even at a team level, even to relate to your own work. So it is like, for me, it's really truly blessing, I would say. So for the things that I could use it, every time I have a question, I go into this tool and I look at it. Okay, how would I be able to do this, or how is the business model? Okay, if I'm planning any business model, how do I put it into structures, and what things I need to take into considerations. Also, like, for instance, I'm also working on one of the initiatives on the environmental aspect of the things. The first thing, like, where do I start? I'm not an environmental the consultant. Like, where do I start? I go into this guide. I get the guidelines, and I see, okay, this is how this is happening. I'm working also on a conscious planners initiative, which you will hear soon. But this has been like, the North Star or guiding point. Okay, I go pick up the topic which I want, and I go in depth it for that relevance. Because even I will be very honest with you guys, because ISO 26000 is like oceans of information. It's a quite a lot of information to read about. But I think what makes a difference is maybe in your relevant work and all. Maybe you need to improve organization work, so you could focus on that area. So selecting the areas of focus and selecting and prioritizing would also make you help. It's not that enough, all of them are not important, but I think prioritizing and seeing that relevance for that context in which you are actually using it makes a lot of difference. And I think for me, as I said, like, maybe I'm just not going as an auditor. I'm just using this for a lot of other purposes within my own, setting up my own environment, or leading the strategic objectives, or leading the team and things like that. So for me, that's how I use it.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. I'm so happy to hear how you can apply it and actually be very concrete about it and use it in your work. So it is so it's so heartfelt to hear you say that, because as you say, well, the standard it's a huge a lot of text and everything, but you can actually apply it and be very, very concrete about it. So So, Sarita, I am raising my glass for you. And
Oh, I didn't. Okay, I have a virtual glass.
yeah, you have a virtual
Cheers with
glass.
you.
So, cheers on you, and
Cheers.
congratulations for
Thank you
being
so
a
much.
certified impact auditor. You're
Yes.
a wisdom. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Eva, for this opportunity. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone, for listening.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's see. I will. So thank you so much, Sarita. See you. Okay, so that was so wonderful to listen to Sarita and how she benefited from the course. Actually, there I put together just a short slide for you. Let's see if I add it to the stream, if you can see it. But the benefits of actually working as a certified impact auditor, because what she told us was about verifying organization sustainability work according to the standard ISO 26000, which is an international standard for sustainability. And there is the associated self-declaration, which Sweden has revised and integrated the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, to it, but also made it verifiable by an accredited third-party organization. And the wonderful thing is that the self-declaration, which is in concrete 50 questions, asking questions about your organization, organizations can use this as their sustainability report. So these 50 questions are guiding you as an organization of applying sustainability or integrating sustainability into your organization. So these are some of the benefits of working as a certified impact auditor. To work with an international standard, but it gives you also business opportunities to do that. And you can impact, as Sarita said, you can actually impact your environment where you work or your society just by applying and being very concrete about your actions and sustainability. So I'm happy that Sarita told us about how she benefited of it. And now let's see, our next guest is a guy called Robert Bengtsson in Skånish. Robert Bengtsson, he is the founder and owner and designer on the Smartform Sweden. And he's also founder and consultant at Smart Evolution Sweden and a certified impact auditor. And he has an extensive international experience in innovation, aftermarket, and personal and change management. So Robert is also one of our course participants who has passed the course. Let's see, I have some trudelutt. I will play this. I don't know if you can hear it. Can you hear it? Hello, Robert. Welcome to this event. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thank you very
much. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. It's great to be here.
Yeah, great.
Very inspiring to listen to Sarita as well. So
yeah. So Robert, tell us a little bit about yourself. Short introduction.
Yeah, you mentioned a bit about my background. So I've spent most of my professional life actually with Tetropack in a big international and multicultural environment.
Yeah.
And I worked in many different roles, mainly in Lund in Sweden, but also in Japan and Italy. And as you also mentioned, with a great focus on innovation and the after sales area. So the last last 25 years, I was there so many years, I almost forget how many years. But the last 25 years, I worked a lot with change and people management. And then 1.5 years ago, I made a big change in my life.
Yeah.
I actually became self-employed. I stopped working at Tetropack and started my own company. And that's Smartform Sweden. And then I could put a big focus on one of my passion, actually, for form and design.
Yeah.
And so I established that. So I work with design, product development, and also with handcrafted manufacturing of objects and small furnitures for home and public environments.
Wow.
But then in parallel to that, I also gained some further new competencies and experiences, which motivate me quite a lot, actually. So I went to Florence and took a course in Italian. I know some Italian before.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I thought that was very, very nice to do, finally, to take some real course on that. But then also last summer, I started Impact Auditor course. And now I have just completed it here in end of January.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy for that. And also by this time now, I also launched my new area in my company, starting now from February, which I then have named Smart Evolution Sweden, where I will work also with other passions that I have in parallel to the one I already have established.
So what is that Smart Evolution? What will you do there?
There I will, my intention is to support both individuals and organizations to work both with change management, but also now within the new area of sustainability. So that would be really great if I can get started in that new area. And of course, I worked with different things within sustainability, but this is the first time where I've had a so big focus on this and tried to get a more holistic perspective of it. So that's very, very, very nice, actually.
Yeah. So I mean, you took also on the same course as Sarita for Impact Auditor for ISO 26000.
Yeah.
So what would you say? How did you benefit from the course?
Well, as I mentioned before, I, as a person, I'm curious and I like to develop as a person, individuals. And this new course has given me totally new competence, but also new perspectives and insights that I didn't have before. Because, of course, I know I'm familiar with many of those areas, but I did not connect actually everything with sustainability. Then my thoughts were more around environment, of course, talking about sustainability. So that was really good, and with this new insights and knowledge, I would like to make an impact then, and I think and hope I can do that by what I've learned in this course. I must also say that I was very happy with how how it was presented, the training there, and also of course with the coaching and so it was very nice to do it over time there.
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
Yeah, so actually you are this is a little bit special because in the course you apply your knowledge directly to a pilot case or pilot company, and we are going to meet one of the pilot companies, which it was SustainLab in your case. So we will interview Maria later on in this event, but could you tell us a little bit about how you applied your knowledge to SustainLab or to the pilot company?
So one part, as you mentioned before, also then is in the ISO standard, then 26000 is the self-assessment. So by engaging Maria then mainly at SustainLab, we will meet her later on here. Then I got their view of their sustainability work by the self-assessment that they supplied them. So what I did was then to look into that on top of what other information I could find of SustainLab, the company on the web and in other places there. And then I put up some questions for that I thought would be relevant to verify the content of that input. And then I prepared myself a bit, of course, in front of the interview that we had some weeks ago. And by that, or during that interview, then I got good insights and good verification of what has been stated there in the assessment there. So
yeah.
And what I did then after that, I wrote a report about the findings and conclusions, and also some recommendations then on top of that.
Yeah. So and this is really, I mean, I have to say it because it's beneficial for becoming a pilot company, because you get a pre-verification of the ISO 26000 and also your observations and recommendations. And well, I think it's super beneficial for a company like SustainLab. For example, you have been, I mean, your work before also with Tetropack and everything. You have all that knowledge with you also into the course and into the company.
No, I think it's always good with this outside view, of course. When you are into something yourself, you see a lot of things there, but also when it comes to how you communicate things like that, how you define things, then it can be quite good to be a bit over clear when you state things there, so it becomes easier for others also to understand and to know a bit more about it.
Yeah, exactly. Was there anything that you think was difficult or challenging with the course and the pilot case you had?
Yeah, of course it was challenging in a way, because it was a new how can I say, new area for me to be that deep into.
Yeah.
Most challenging was maybe to go through the big standard.
Yeah.
That took some efforts and some time actually, but it was also very good, of course, for me, because I got this holistic view of it. So, so that was maybe the biggest challenge there.
Yeah, but I mean, you have done some big. I mean, you have had some big challenges stepping out of your, I would say, comfort zone from Tetropack, because you said you were there for 25 years.
No, actually, I was there 30 plus, but
30 plus years.
It was quite some time.
Yeah, in different.
But it was a great time, I must say that.
Yeah,
so
of course.
That's why it took so long time for me to do something else actually.
Yeah, and it's a great company. I know about Tetropack, of course, and you have had different roles and everything. So. But still taking that step to start your own company, and now you have two parts of your company, as I understand it, and developing your skills and knowledge and entering into a new area of knowledge, which is sustainability. But as you said, I think, and as you said, a lot of the work that you have done before has actually been within sustainability, but it's easier to understand it and package it when you have a concrete standard to lean towards.
Yeah, right. That's true.
Yeah, so what are your dreams for the future?
Beside the passion I have for form and design, I'm also very motivated to make an impact in work with both with individual and organizational development. So with my new competence now that I have gained, and which I intend to develop further, of course, I would like to make to contribute to a better, more sustainable future for all of us. By helping both organizations and others in their work with sustainability.
So you can go out there and help companies, organizations to get ready for being verified and help them implement the standard.
I'm really looking forward to that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, audience who are listening now, do you have any questions for Robert? Just please ask them, or ask your questions, because we're here to inspire you as well, and yeah, to answer your questions. So just write them in the chat, and I hope you will be with us a little bit more. Robert, maybe you can answer the questions that is popping up here.
I will continue to participate here, of
yeah,
course.
great. And we will also listen to SustainLab, Maria Svantemark, who's the co-founder and CEO. So, Robert, cheers.
Yeah, cheers to you. Thanks a
And
lot.
congratulations.
Thanks a lot. And I would also like to take the opportunity actually to thank you, Maria, and SustainLab for being the pilot there, and
Yeah,
for
great.
the great support there.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. So let's see. What Johan Beckman? What course did Robert attend? Yes, Johan. That was the Certified Impact Auditor course. So there's a link explaining a little bit about the course. So let's see. We have Johanna also. Hello, Johanna. She's thumbs up, Robert.
Thanks a lot, Johanna, for all the support also as a coach there. Was very valuable.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
and also Helena previously, I must say as well.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Helena Tinut, yes.
Yeah.
We have some congratulating you now. So there is, some congratulations for you, Robert. So thank you so much. And I look forward to collaborate with you, Robert, in the future.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Thank you, and bye. Goodbye. So that was wonderful to learn about Robert's journey. So yeah, before we head on with Maria will be our next guest, Lindberg Howard. I also want to mention, because we are going to have a Kickstart Masterclass, and that is about kickstarting your sustainability journey. So that is a masterclass that we will have. Let's see if I can put it up here. Yes, on Zoom on the 26th and the 27th of February. And this is 2 hours, 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday until 10, and 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday until 10. And it is for free, so you can sign up. I think Sarah, my colleague, who is in the background here, you could put up the link, and if you want to, you can sign up for the masterclass. So, and this is a course that will give you a kickstart for how to learn, especially about sustainability, why organizations and companies need to integrate sustainability into their strategy, business strategy, and also learn how to do it. What does organizations and companies need to do to integrate it? What are the keys? And we will also talk about the ISO 26000, and also about diversity, equality, and inclusion, how that is beneficial for companies. How it's making that beneficial for companies. Okay, so remember that Kickstart Sustainability on Zoom, 26th and 27th of February. You can sign up for free, and I think that Sarah just added the link. Yes, so the link is here for the masterclass. So just sign up, and welcome to join. So let's see. Now we have the next guest is Maria Lindberg Howard. And I will just read a short little introduction about her. She is a sustainability change communicator and also now certified business for SDGs change leader. She's a copywriter and a journalist in communication and storytelling with a focus on sustainability. And she's on a mission to help companies communicate their purpose. And the company stories create relevant and interesting content that provides value to customers and other stakeholders while contributing to sustainable development. So I'm so happy to have Maria here, and I will play that little song for you as well. I hope you can hear it. Let's see if we can have Maria here. Welcome. Oh, it's wonderful to have you here. Oh,
thank
you.
I found a party hat. It's actually from Christmas, but it has glitter, so I thought it might work.
That's fantastic. I have a red.
But it is like Christmas today, anyway. So I thought, why not?
Yeah. So it's wonderful to have you here, and it's so exciting to learn more about you. So please tell us a little bit more about what you're doing and what you're working with.
Yeah. Well, I'm a native Stockholmer, and if you want my background, I can do that just short. Like Snoopy, I was born on a, what does he say, dark, stormy night. I wasn't. I was born in the afternoon on a Saturday. Anyway, but I grew up in a family that ran several restaurants in town in Stockholm for 40 years. And when I was a teenager, I wanted to become a journalist. I had this idea of wanting to travel the world because my parents traveled a lot, and we liked doing that. But I saw myself in a trench coat, and walking down rainy streets in Belfast. I was born in the 60s, so this is in the 70s. And for a while I had plans to see if I could study international journalism abroad, but that's a big step and it has a price tag on it that didn't really work out. So while thinking about that, I was offered a job in 1982 as a copywriter at an ad agency, and they said, come and try and see if you would like it, because we think that you'd be good at it. And I thought, I don't know, what about a trench coat? Can I have a trench coat in the office? Anyway, but I went there and I felt that the creativity and the writing, there are similarities. They're not the same type of job, but there are similarities. So I kind of felt that, I think I could do this. Maybe. And then I asked, is there what should I study? And they said, well, there is Berg School of Communication. It had another name back then, but that's what it's known as now. So, and that was the only education around for copywriters. So I took that, and then I worked at advertising agencies all through the 80s. And in 1990, I had this sense of liking the work a lot, not liking maybe the industry just as much. It's pretty conservative, and still is in a way. A lot of men, and if you've seen Mad Men on TV, it wasn't that much better in the 80s. There was more money around, and people were crazy, But sometimes I felt, and that journalist was still living in here somewhere, thinking trench coat. So I started my own business in 1990. So I've been working since then. It's been a long time. And this year it's 40 years since I came into the communication, industry. So, geez. And for the past 25 years, I've been working with my husband / colleague. He came over here from the States, and we write, edit, and translate texts in Swedish and English for companies and ad agencies, mainly communication, that type of text. And then 7 years ago, geez, it's 22 now. 2015, actually, that's 7 years ago. I fulfilled that dream of, but could I never be a journalist? Never, in any way, because I've been writing a lot of editorial text the whole time, my whole life. I have, even though it's been within the communication industry. So I told myself, well, you're your own boss, you've been taking all these different types of courses over the years. And so I I contacted Poppius, which is one of the journalist schools here in Sweden, and took their course in 2015. And we wrote articles, of course, because that's part of the training.
Yeah.
And as we did, I felt a need to just go out on a, not on a whim maybe, but when they said it's up to you, it should be an article about anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, geez, I don't know. I mean, here's a trench coat idea here. What can I do? What can I get out there? And,
Yeah.
And what I did was I tried to find subjects that I didn't know much about.
Yeah.
And just throw myself at it, because that was completely new. As a copywriter, I mean, your company tells you we need this, and then you kind of do that. So what I did was I wrote an article about effective altruism, that movement, the EA movement, that I had not heard about. The same morning I was supposed to tell the school teacher that, what is your subject? I still didn't know. So I was reading the paper in the morning. Okay, I need to think of something here for today's class, and I have to. And then this article just opened up.
Yeah.
And there was an interview with, I can't remember his name now, but a very known figure from Oxford University in England, who had been to Sweden. So I just missed him. That was just, was he here last week? And I just thought, that's my subject. That's it. So I wrote about that, and I interviewed several students, because the effective altruism back then, it's maybe changed a little now, still following it a little bit, but it's huge among younger people in universities and such. So I try to find, I found students at KTH and at Handelshögskolan and Third School, and then I interviewed them. And this kind of led me into, it opened my eyes to sustainability, because in 2015 with the Paris and everything, you read about it in the papers, but you didn't really get it much.
No.
But at the same time I was doing this, I was starting, what are these articles about? This is interesting. So it opened my eyes, but it takes a while. It's a big subject. It's tricky. It's complicated.
Yeah.
But 2 years later, in 2017, I had the opportunity to start a network with the Chamber of Commerce in Stockholm.
Yeah.
So I did. So I started a network within sustainable communication and sales.
Yeah.
Because they said, well, can you do something about communication? And I said, I can, but on the terms that it will be about sustainability, because I felt as a communicator, I just couldn't go on and not talk about it.
Yeah.
That would be kind of odd. It felt odd to me. So I that was my decision to do that. And
wow.
And and there I am. So I try to add. So I remember when I've taken a lot of courses in education and training over the years. When I find something interesting, I'm kind of like that. But when I took this journalism training, a lot of people said, "Oh, so you're going to leave the business now, communications business?" And I said, "No, I just add. I want to be both, because it's for me as a writer, it's so interesting to have two tools. It's two toolboxes, writing as a copywriter and writing as a journalism. And I can see the similarities, and then I can see where it's just completely different.
Yeah.
And try to learn, use both.
Being a journalist and communicator, how did this course benefit you? Because this Business for SDGs, it's more of a strategic course where you apply,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And one thing that I feel as a writer is, and maybe not as a journalist, because you would work in a very different way, but it is both of them. As a writer, you are kind of after the fact. As a journalist, something must have happened. There has been a bomb somewhere, or something has happened, and then you send out to find out what is this and talk about it. And communications is the same thing, that companies need to do something, launch a new product, or think of a new service or something, and then they call on you. And then you come in, and I have more and more over the years turned things down when I felt, I don't know. I'm not as nice anymore, I guess. But anyway, I've started to feel more that, this is not what I want to do. And then I felt, because that was just pure incident that I've heard about this masterclass. I think I heard about it on a Thursday. And and I can't remember. It was a mail or something. You know, so much on the internet now. You can't remember where did I say that, but it came up like on Thursday, and I thought, oh, okay, I got nothing better to do Saturday, Sunday, so I just signed up. And kind of had no really idea, but I thought, well, EA movement, how interesting was that? This is going to be great, probably. I don't know. So I just walked in there, and yeah, it is early in the morning, folks, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it is early.
You have to be bright and shiny at 8 o'clock. No, but anyway, I felt that several modules that we used, I recognized the SWOT analysis and the benchmarking, and even creating shared value, which is about 10 years old as an idea. So those were things I had touched on and thought, I know these tools, I know. Interesting. But the thing that I felt that you've created, and the people that you work with, Eva, is that you have turned, you take the best tools there are out there. You don't have to create new ones, and then you make a new toolbox.
Yeah.
And I felt that this was a third toolbox for me.
Yeah.
Two types of writer, and what is this? And what I wanted to do with it, I haven't had the assignments yet. I mean, I'm just kind of fresh here.
Yeah, you're fresh.
But what I want to do is I want to join earlier in the process for a company. I don't want to be the one they call in at 5 to 12 to say, can you write about this? Well, I don't know about that. And how did you think about it? I want to be part of helping out. Because as a writer, I would have to come in and do the research or do the interviews or all of that work anyway. If I'm part of the process, I do the work while I'm working with it. And it would mean so much more to me than just write what somebody else wants.
Yeah.
To try to inspire more. So I'm hoping for that. I just want a bigger toolbox.
Yeah.
When I moved away from home, my mother gave me a toolbox. And this was in 1981. I still have it.
Yeah.
Darn it if somebody borrows my tools. So I like the toolbox of things. So I'm happy for the one you provided me with now. It's great.
Wonderful. But I think I'm totally with you that communicators and copywriters and needs to be early in the process.
Yeah.
In the strategy process, because it is about you develop your strategy where you integrate the sustainability, but then you need to know how to communicate it internally and externally and such. So it's important.
Yeah.
Great. So you are fresh. You just did the course. So what are your dreams about the future now?
Well, my dreams are, I'm thinking that one thing that I just want to, what you just said, is also that what I often feel is that the why question has not been asked when I come into the process.
Right.
And for me to be able to write so it rings true. So what I'm saying is what I'm trying to help the company to communicate rings true. They have to ask the question why, and often they haven't, because it's not a fun question.
No.
And they don't want to ask each other. And colleagues can't interview each other. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I have to come in. So I often tell them, okay, now you call the writer.
Yeah.
Here I come with the questions. It's okay for me. I'm not mean, but I mean, why is a tough question? When I come in and ask it, not everybody likes me very much, but I have to. So that is also a way of being able to ask that question a little earlier.
Yeah.
So everybody can think about it, sleep on it, and well, what do you want? Because that is your purpose. If you're going to have purpose-driven communication, you can't make it up.
No, exactly.
Late. You have to. It has to be there from the beginning.
Yeah.
So I'd like to be there and be a part of it, and
absolutely.
As my research, I'm just extending my research work in a way. So
the why and purpose, and also the rationale behind everything. So
because you have to choose your goals, you have to check a kind of a map to know where you're going. You have to have a compass, which is your why. If you forget it, things may change, and and you need to find out what you need to do, and that is hard. But I feel that these tools help us to at least start somewhere, and then you need to start somewhere with a task that you can manage. Start with the easy stuff. I think it's like losing weight. You don't have to sign up for the worst thing on Monday morning. Do something. small. Have one
Start
cake
small.
instead of two.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
something, it's all going to be good. So that's important. And then communicate along the way, like you said, because if it ain't greenwash, it's green hush. If you do something good, talk about it. Because if you go to Christmas here, I mean, I sometimes tell people, but if you've been good all year, a 3-year-old kid knows he has to tell Santa. What's the point of being good the whole year if you don't tell Santa? It's the same kind of idea that companies need to.
Right.
And inspire others, So that's
That's
dreams for my future.
What is
I guess it starts now. My new future. Well, I have. I'm gonna make this story short, but I'm. People who know me would say that I'm an urbanista. I love cities. I'm a city person. And in addition to marketing, I arrange historic walks, and I create the quizzes that you do on your phone. We can walk around the city and ask questions and learn about Stockholm. And so I have another company on the side where I work with that. And my dream now is that I would like to merge what my feel for and my knowledge about cities and city life with my communication skills and your toolbox. And I would like to focus, because I need a focus too, a map, a goal, a compass, all of those things. And that would be to work for goal 11, which is sustainable cities and communities.
Right.
Because
So
something that so I can kind of merge them, because I've been working with them like this for 20 years, because I want to do both things, and I'm my own boss, so I can do both things. But what if they could marry? I could do them together. That would be fantastic. So I would love to do that, because you have to go to, I think, what is close to your heart, and something that just it breaks my heart is when you go to a city and you see I get all emotional about it, but when you see small stores that are closed. And I'm thinking about the 15-minute city and all what they're trying to do in Paris. I haven't been there for a long time, but it's just amazing. You have to make cities, many small cities that work together in a big city. It's really important. So this 15-minute city with, her name is Anne Hidalgo, right? The governor of Paris, that she's trying to do. Paris is very big. It's fascinating. So I want to find my place in that. I don't know where it is, but I'd like to find that somewhere.
And it's good to tell people here.
That's my dream. So if you have something similar, you have an idea. Because I think that if we all sit down and wait until we know exactly what to do, then maybe we will never get there. I think we have to just try, and then if it doesn't work, try something else.
Right. I'm so happy, Maria, that you joined and told us about your story. What a wonderful storyteller you are. And I just want to congratulate you as well.
Thank you.
And congratulations for your achievements. And I wish you the best of luck in the future with your dream.
Thank you.
And also, just if people want to get connected with you, because you have told us about your ambitions and your dreams for the future, who should connect with you?
I'm thinking I would like, as a writer, and that goes for both copywriting and journalism. If you're your own boss and you run your own company, you're a freelance writer. You have a lot of gigs. You do one job and then you move on, and there's more research, and then you do one job. And unless you have a company, I have a few, but companies that come back to you and you keep working. It's all these gigging. I'm getting a bit tired of that. I would like to find something that is more of a project to be part of. And it could be anything, because I feel that it's very important that the civil society, as we call civilsamhället in Sweden, and the business industry, näringslivet, they need to work together. And it's not always about we do this and somebody makes money. It's a little old-fashioned to me. It's getting it's getting a bit old that you always think
Yeah.
of someone as the customer and someone as the supplier, and he sells and he buys, and I'm thinking, well, yeah, we've been doing that for a couple of 100 years. Maybe there's another way of working out there where there's still, you still have to make the money, we still have to be profitable.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you're very clear about that. It needs to be profitable, but
yeah,
there are other ways of being profitable. We just have to find them. I don't know where they are, but I think if we look together,
but yeah, exactly.
You know, we got more eyes looking, so we're going to find
so
it.
People out there who is
more people, yeah,
joining Maria on her journey.
Yeah, I don't want to do it alone. That's no fun.
No.
No.
Thank you so much, Maria.
Thank you.
Well,
thank you for.
I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you for the course. It was fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much. So thank you, everyone here. I have. Let's see. Oh, I see, Johan. You have registered for the masterclass. Wonderful. As Maria said, it's really early in the morning, but it's a reason why we have it early in the morning. So I hope you can join us. And Anne, oh, you liked Maria's ingång entrance, great. So before we head on with our next guest, Nina, I think I will just show you the slide of the benefit of becoming a certified Business for SDGs change leader, because this course that Maria talked about is not the Impact Auditor. This is a course that is called Business for SDGs change leader, which is a bit different. And it's different in a way that what you do in this course is actually the hands-on of how to integrate sustainability and especially the sustainable development goals into an organization strategy. So it is a course about strategy. And as Maria said, there are different tools that we have put together to do this in a smart, agile, and focused way. And this is what we teach, and this is also what you can then do or help companies, organizations to do. So it is like the Impact Auditor. It's also train the trainer course, which means that you apply your knowledge onto a real case, a real company, which we call pilot company. So So this course is a strategy course where you apply your knowledge onto a pilot company. And also, if you want to become a pilot company, just give me a heads up, because we are pairing these two, matching the pilot company with the course participants. Yeah, I think I saw that someone wrote that you cannot see my slides. I'm not sure. I'm right now showing you a slide. So if you cannot see it, just please write it in the chat so I know about it. But now I'm removing it, because now we have our next guest, which is, let's see, Nina Kuhn. And I will tell you a little bit about Nina. So Nina, she is a strategy director, and she's also one of the certified Business for SDGs change leaders. So she has done this course that I just talked about. She is an experienced art director, creative, and visual planner with a demonstrated history of working in the marketing and advertising industry. So I'm really happy to have Nina here. And let's see if I can play the music for Nina as well. Before we bring her up to the stage. Nina! Woohoo! Okay, did you hear the music? I'm not sure it
yes, it was wonderful. What an entrance.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Great. It's so good to have you here. And well, Nina, tell us a little bit about your work. What do you do?
Well, as you just said, perfect presentation. And today I work as a strategy director, but I have an extensive background as a creative. So I actually come from the creative side and been working with communication and design, innovation, product development, and also always been interested in trends and human behavior, and also business development. So for everything in that area has been my home ground for the last 15-ish, 20 years. And I usually say that I have this small elevator pitch for myself, and that is that I want to make the world more beautiful.
Yeah.
In general and also visually.
Yeah.
And
Great.
that's actually my goal.
Yeah.
and then use the tools of creativity and design, innovation, because I think they are extremely strong when it comes to both adding knowledge, but also changing human behavior and adding value to people. So that's what my heart throbs about.
Yeah, it's wonderful, inspirational, but you have worked with the different companies and such. But this time, you did. I mean, you applied your knowledge to your company, right?
Yeah, I did, and that was extremely interesting and also challenging, of course. But it was an extremely good opportunity to really dig deep and see where can I contribute in the best way, and how can I also make this really clear and get grounded in what I want to do and how I want to change and work with positive change in the world, and also helping companies, because it's so good that doing good is actually a way of being a force for good. If you are that, then you'll do good as well. And if you don't take that into account as a company, you will probably not be there tomorrow. So it's sort of a win-win situation, actually.
Yeah. So if you would give some tips to our audience, like what would be your top, I don't know, 3 tips or 1 tips to start working with their sustainability journey?
I would say that it's all about identifying the opportunities and looking at them and not the obstacles, because this is actually the greatest business opportunity of our whole existence. Companies, we need to spend about $500 trillion till 2050.
Yeah.
And that's quite a sum, actually.
Yeah.
So that's huge. So I would say look into identifying the opportunities and see them, and also try to think outside the box, and look at breaking the stereotypes in the marketplace, and start talking, share knowledge.
Yeah.
And then, of course, start doing.
Yeah, start doing.
I usually say that it's as in communication, we talk about storytelling, but I say that now it's sort of the end of storytelling. Let's start with story doing instead.
Story doing. That's a good saying. Story doing. Yeah. Wonderful. So what are your dreams for the future?
Well, of course, and looking at the big picture, it's of course a better and more sustainable and inclusive world, but also that I can use my knowledge to the fully, being this, and I have to say that I think that's also one of the things that we will see a bit more of, as Maria talked about before, having hybrid competences or combinations of things and working together.
Yep.
Since I have both the strategic interest and also in trends and insights, but also in the actual doing, the creativity that can end up in innovation or product development or almost anything. So I really would like to use that full potential in being a force for good, and also helping companies to accelerate their way of changing or accelerating the change that we need.
Yeah.
And I do hope I can enjoy winter, since I love snow. So I hope I will be able to enjoy winter as much as I did when I was a kid, and not looking at and see rain.
Yeah. So yeah, of course. That's wonderful. But yeah, I think well, as Maria, she also talked about this about being more holistic and having those different tools and putting them together, and so sustainability is actually about that also, to have that picture, but also to be
and combining that with both looking at the business and business development, also using creativity there and innovation. If you combine them and use and have the sustainability knowledge, and also being able to apply that, then you can go extremely far. So I think that's extremely interesting, I think, and also looking at the huge trends out there, so you can pinpoint it and meet the expectations beforehand.
Right. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Nina. And I don't have champagne in that, you know. It's like hydrating myself.
We'll take the champagne later.
Yeah, I will take it later. So cheers, and a big congratulations, Nina. And I look forward to continue collaborate with you as well. So I wish you the best of luck.
Me too.
Yeah.
Cheers, and thanks so much for a great course, and looking forward to this journey.
Yeah, me too. Thank you, Nina.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody else.
Thanks. Okay. This is a good way of hydrating myself. Wonderful. Now I think it's let's see what the time is. It's a little bit past over 2, and I mentioned that in the beginning that we had this challenge about answering a couple of questions and win one of our certification courses. So you have heard about the Certified Impact Auditor course, the Business for SDGs course. Of course, you haven't heard about the Diversity, Equality, and Inclusion course. I think I will just mention it a little bit quick before we raffle the winner. So the D&I Change Leader course is about diversity, equality, and inclusion. Which will help also organizations to become more sustainable and profitable. Because we have loads of evidence that companies that are diverse and equal, they perform better than their peers. And this is all something that the stock market acknowledges, and especially NASDAQ, for example, that has programs to look for diversity and equality in listed companies. So this is also a strategic course where you apply or you integrate both sustainability, but also the 7 principles of women empowerment principles, which are 7 which are 7 principles, and you apply them into the business strategy, and you look for the organization's gaps. So this course is also Train the Trainer, where you apply your knowledge directly to a case. And that could be a company. I know that we had Martina Uxling here. I saw your name before. She is one of the course participants, and you are right now working with your pilot. So it's going to be really exciting to look into your work later on. But now I will remove the slide from the screen. And now we will raffle the winner of one of the certification courses. So this is an opportunity for you to enroll in one of these courses for free. And I will bring my colleague up to the stream, Sara Daleke. Hello, Sara. Hello.
Yeah, hi. I just had to unmute myself. Hi, so nice to see you. And so fantastic to hear all the inspiring talks and learnings and everything. So amazing.
Yeah.
And to be part of this. So we will raffle the winner. So we had a lot of answers, and you chose some.
Whoa! Yeah, right. The winner has to be present, right? So that means that every one of you who has submitted your answers, you have to be present right now to win this. What happens otherwise, Sara?
Otherwise, if the person is not here, we have to raffle another winner until the person is here in the chat. Okay. So maybe while people chat in the field that they are here, I can go through the right answers, because you had to answer correctly to the questions in order to be able to win.
Yeah.
So there were three questions. Yeah.
So people who are here now, please write in the chat that you are present so that we know that you are here. Say just I'm here or something like that, so we know. Okay. Because sometimes, but actually it happened once, Sara, when the
person was not here.
The person was here, but the connection was bad. So
no, she couldn't write. But we had seen her at least before. So she's still.
Okay, let's see. I have some. Rishabh is here, present. Johan Beckman, he's present. Okay. Okay. So we just continue here, and please.
I go through the right answers in the meantime.
Yeah. Yes.
So there were 5 questions out of 3 you had to answer correctly to, and the other 2 were like, why should you in the course, and why should businesses work with sustainability, that you had to motivate that. But for the 3 fact questions, the first question was that you needed to answer correctly to. I read the question out loud. So, businesses are vital in achieving the SDGs since they are the engine of the world and also has a huge impact on the planet. Out of the 100 largest economic entities in the world, how many are businesses? So you could choose between 50, 60, or 70. And here, actually, most people guessed 50 or 60, but the correct answer is 70. 70 of the biggest economic entities in the world are businesses, and 30 are countries. So that's something to think about, that we really need businesses to become sustainable for the future of our planet and societies.
Because they have the power to transform the world to be a better world. That's fantastic.
And that's why it's so important to all these courses and to learn how to make businesses more sustainable. So next question, which of the SDGs, so then it's the SDGs are the Sustainable Development Goals, has a target stating encourage companies to adopt sustainable practices and sustainability reporting? So you could choose between different SDGs, and the correct answer is that it's within SDG number 12, sustainable consumption and production. And the exact target is 12.6. You didn't have to know that, but that's just if you want to look it up, it's SDG 12.6. So 12 was the correct answer. And then the last question was, how many years from now, 2021, this was from the 2021 report. Will it take for the world to reach gender parity according to Global Gender Report 2021? And here also, in a good way, I think most people answered wrong, because the correct answer is 135 years. That it will take 135 years for the world to reach gender parity, and that is crazy.
I mean, that is crazy.
Yeah, and actually this has gone up. This is also a lot due to the pandemic, because just in the report a year before 2020, the same figure was 99.5, which is also, I mean, crazy much. But 135 is even more. And
so it has increased, like, is it true, 40 years?
Yeah, it had increased 35.5 years. Yeah. So 35 years it has increased in just 1 year due to the pandemic.
Yeah.
So we really need to work hard now for gender equality in the world.
Absolutely. Do the D&I course.
Yeah, do the D&I course. Exactly. So that was the correct answers. So I guess some more people have answered that they are present. So maybe it's time for
to raffle the winner. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Okay.
This is exciting. Wait, I will put on some music. Let's see if I can do it. Raffle the winner. Okay, you have one.
Okay, so I hope I pronounced correctly.
Okay.
Thomas C.C. Wong.
Oh, Thomas C.C. Wong. Okay, I think I saw his name
Actually,
before.
I think...
Thomas, are you present? You are the winner. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Actually, Thomas, I haven't seen his name now, but I did see his name, I think, in the beginning.
Yeah, I remember that. Here he is. He was from Hong Kong. Yes. Thomas C.C. Wong, you are here.
But I don't see him present now, but that is a comment from earlier, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we have to draw another.
Yeah, but we did experience a similar thing with one of our recent course participants. I think it was Monica Simon, who is also here, that she lost her connection, or if it was valid, I'm not sure. But
well, you're the boss. You decide.
He's I am present, the boss. So Thomas,
we congratulate Thomas.
We congratulate you. Woo!
Congratulations. And a certification course of your choice is yours.
Wow, yeah.
Cool. Welcome.
So Thomas, he will choose one of these courses that will be suitable for him. We can see Johan is congratulating him. Yes, and we have several course participants now, because we have done this now. Each time we raffle one winner, because we really want people to to change the world for the better. So Thomas, maybe you don't have a good connection right now, but we will send you an email, and since you were present here, you will get one of these courses. So congratulations.
From Hong Kong, that is really cool.
Far away.
Oh yeah, we save the good business travels worldwide and save the world. So that's awesome. Cool.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for being on stage now, and
congratulations again to Thomas. And
so we will continue with the event, and I think we will have Per-Olof Hall before we take a small break, right?
Yeah.
So thank you, Sarah. See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye. Let's see. Before we have a short break, we will listen to Per-Olof Hall. And Per-Olof, he's a company owner and consultant for Planet, and or Planet People. Sorry for that. His work centers around consulting organizations on sustainability issues such as the Sustainable Development Goals, occupational health and safety, gender equality, circular economy, quality and environment management. Wow. And Per-Olof will share his insights about the certification course and how he sees himself now in the role as an impact auditor. He took the certification course earlier on, and he has been on his first assignment. So I'm so happy to have Per-Olof here, and I will play a song for him as well. Woo! Welcome, Per-Olof. I'm happy to have you here. Oh.
Sorry, I have no hat.
No, I have mine.
Yeah.
But you have maybe something to maybe not.
Actually, I drank it up. It was my tea.
That's wonderful. You will have a virtual glass of Sarita. So, Per-Olof, welcome. It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you.
So please, again, tell us a little bit about yourself. You do a lot. I mean, you're an entrepreneur as well, and work with a lot of things.
Yeah.
So what?
Well, you kind of you took a big chunk out of what I do, but there are some other things which you didn't mention. But in short, health, safety, and sustainability. These are my three pillars. So I'm also a yogi. So I'm into yoga. I'm into mindfulness. I'm a mindfulness instructor. I'm also a breath coach. So
breath coach?
Breath, yeah, like breathing.
Breathing, wow.
Yeah. Which if you do yoga and meditation and mindfulness, it's an integrated part of your practice. And once you start walking down that road, you kind of understand that there is more to learn. So I also decided to take a course in breathing, actually, how to learn to breathe properly.
Yeah. Wow.
So I started my company in 2007, 2008. And the name of the company is Planet People. You got it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, I was very much inspired by the sustainability of people, planet, and profit concept. And in the beginning, we talking about now 2007, 2008, companies were not that interested in hearing about sustainability. So not making a very long story short, I developed a website where you could do some CO2 emission calculations and create accounts, and you could do different things like a consumer and like a business. And I tried to sell that, and it was like nobody weren't even interested to listen to it because it was very early. So I decided to focus more on health and safety. And sustainability has come into my mix, let's say, the last 4 or 5 years. And due to the pandemic, I found myself with some free time, like a lot of people did, from having worked 160 hours a week. I was in Stockholm on a big assignment. It all came to a halt, and there was no more work for a couple of months. And I found out about the ISO 26000 course and the Impact Auditor course, and that's how I got kind of opened up my perspective a bit, and I saw the opportunity to learn more and broaden my offering to my clients. But there's another thing I really want to talk about, and it's sustainability And what I have come to realize about 4 years ago, I had a very close encounter with the proverbial brick wall, as we say in Sweden, where I had to really stop what I was doing and take a break and find stability. And that's how I came into yoga and mindfulness and all these things. But sustainability for me is actually an inside or an internal job more than anything, because if we are not sustainable as human beings, it's kind of difficult to, at least for me, to see how I am connected with nature, how I need to be connected with myself, with others, and nature. So in my world, it's more about an inside job that we all have to an inside journey that we have to take also. So it's about internal sustainability and external sustainability as well.
Yeah, right. And it's like we have that saying in the company that become what you want to see in the world, as Gandhi said, or be the change you want to see in the world. And that's a little bit of what you're talking about, to have that mindset also regarding sustainability.
Yeah, and I also think I see a lot of people suffering, especially during the pandemic, very stressful times, a lot of anxiety. We can just see where we are today. You know, we're don't know what's going to happen in Ukraine, for example. A lot of people are really scared about that, and through mindfulness, and I do teach mindfulness in courses. You know, I see how I can give people tools to find an inner peace and to connect with themselves and kind of get a perspective on things that they didn't have before, and you know, kind of open up their eyes a little bit, we have an insight as well that we need to take care of.
Yeah. So Per-Olof, you actually you have done 2 courses, like Business for SDGs or doing it, and Certified Impact Auditor.
Yep.
And you have your toolbox. You have also your toolbox, like Maria talked about it, and Nina, and so on. But how can you use this? How do you apply these courses to your profession and toolbox? How did you benefit from the course or the course?
Well, I think, you know, and we talked about this before in another broadcast that you had, and I'm standing by what I said at that time, and I think the deeper understanding of how multifaceted sustainability is one of the core takeaways from the course, and that it's not only the environment. And when you look at the 7 core subjects of sustainability and all of the subclasses that are included in there, it becomes it's really a, you know, wow. You know, somebody really did a great job in putting together this standard and you know, thought about so many things that is so interconnected and really laid it out so that I can understand this and you know, see it with new eyes that I didn't see with before, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that like you mentioned the SDG course. I'm an ISO kind of guy, so I like it. You know, when it's like that, there is a standard, there is, you know, a process behind it. Whereas SDGs is more, it takes the approach from a different way, which it's very good because there are two ways. All companies are not
Exactly.
ISO orientated, and I think they all come together in a very nice way when you also now, with the new standard that was released, the recent standard of 2021, is it now, or 22? Is it 20?
Now it's 22.
No,
but
I know, but was it
21.
23? No, but was it released in 21?
21.
21.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how it connects and how the global goals connect with ISO 26000, that was really like, now I got it, and now I can see it. And so I would say that if you're interested in working with sustainability, both of the courses that you're offering are excellent. Are excellent pathways to get going there.
Yeah, right. Because they are different, but as you say, in the ISO, the Swedish revised self-declaration part, they are integrated into one. So that's wonderful. And you have actually been on your first assignment also to verify an organization's sustainability work. We are not supposed to reveal the company yet because we are in the process. But could you tell us anything about it, about that work, without revealing the company's name?
Well, having done a pilot case, it's like, getting your feet wet a little bit. When you do your first real case, you have to dive into it and you have to submerge yourself, or at least that's how I approached it, because I realized that I want to spend more time than I'm actually getting paid for, because it's my first assignment, and it was very interesting to see how a company that were no pre-screening. It was not a pilot company of your course. They just came out of the blue, and how they approached and how they were applying it, and they were ISO 9000 and 14000 certified. They are certified already. So that kind of they had their ISO hat on, which was good in a way, but there were some other challenges which they had to work with, and when you have to when they're referring to ISO work, it becomes there's a lot of complexity in how things are done, and how you actually pinpoint that to ISO 26000, and what do you have, and where is it, and what do you need to add in order to be in line with the ISO 26000. So, but it was a challenge in many ways, and I had a plan for the meeting when I had my interview, it became what it became, and I think at the end they were really happy with the feedback and the comments, and they understand what they have to work with on 2022.
Great. So it is companies that have ISO 9000, 14000, it is they have their processes already, so it is like an ISO 26000. It is easier for them, I would say, to just how do you say, jack in I don't know how to say it in English, but to existing processes that they have. And there are like interconnections between 9001 and the ISO 26000, and also the GRI and such. So there are benefits if you have some.
I think the challenge is to just to be careful when you do your declaration, and making sure that maybe making a list so that you have 9,000, 14,000, and 26,000. You can map things out. So it's very easy to see that, okay, part of what we're asking for in ISO 26,000 is actually in 14,000, and in other parts it could be in 9,000, and we're already working according to our processes. And how do we incorporate 26,000 into our present process that we have with the 9,000 and 14,000? So.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, Per-Olof, what are your dreams of the future?
No, you forgot one question, and top 3 tips to start working with sustainability.
Yeah, you could share your.
Yeah.
Yes,
So I just thought about that, so I wanted to share my thoughts about it.
Yes, please.
So I think I talked about it a little bit before. Sustainability is an inside job, and start there. Okay. And this could sound kind of strange what I'm about to say, so please forgive me. Have a climate crisis. I had a climate crisis in 2003, and it was not a big crisis. It was, it came down on me that, we're in the shits, humanity, take a deep dive into the subject, and really immerse yourself. There's a lot of resources out there, of course, and in 2003 there wasn't that much, but at that time I was really into peak oil, because I realized that oil is running out of oil, and oil is running our society, and we need to move out into the forest and become self-sustainable, all these kind of things.
Yeah.
But anyhow, and then once you've done that, it's important to walk the talk and to be authentic. To live, change, make the changes. I mean, I'm not saying that you should become a vegan, but when you understand, how our food industry is being run, and what is the environmental impacts from our food industry, you might consider cutting down on meat consumption or become a vegetarian or whatever have you. And not only is it good for the environment, but it's also very good for your health. So this is, you got to find your own, persona in this, and walk that talk and be authentic in that persona, so that you can be fired up like you are, and enthusiastic about that. So big, my dreams for the future. That was the last question, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more, like what are you going to? What would you? Yeah, what are your dreams?
Well, my dream is that I will continue to be well and healthy.
Yeah.
Because that is really very important. I think human well-being is sometimes neglected. I think you were reminded when you broke your foot or something, that you couldn't work out for like 8 or 9 weeks or something.
Months.
Okay, yeah, you see. So human well-being is really important for me. I also hope for my own personal satisfaction to be able to work more with human sustainability in the coming years, and there is a interest. I'm a member of industry organizations, and we are discussing actually in Swedish den hållbara människan, the sustainable human, and what that entails, and if we can get some networks started about that, and how we can forward that discussion and make it more prominent in the sustainability sphere of things. I also realize that there is a big need for consulting around ISO 26000, and that companies want to implement ISO 26000, but they and I have seen it, firsthand, that they need help, they need assistance. So besides being an impact auditor, I'm looking forward to or hope to be able to help companies implementing ISO 26000 in their business.
Yeah.
And that would be really nice if I can focus a little bit more and not just do all of the things that you mentioned in the beginning of the presentation.
Yeah, it is a challenge to find focus. And yeah, but that's wonderful. I think you will have a lot to do and help companies. So, Per-Olof, thank you so much. And congratulations again, and also for your first assignment, soon to be revealed which one it was. Cheers, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. All right. Now it's 2:45, and we will have our next guest, which will be Anne Johansson. But before that, we will just take a short break. So a 5 minutes break till 2:50, so 14:50 p.m. So 5 minutes of break, and Anne will join us later on. So yes, and well, since it is it is streaming, I was just like, oh, can I take a break? I'm not sure about the what you see then, because then it will be completely black. But you can take a break and listen to Anne. However, I will tell you also, if you want to listen into that, about the Kickstart. So we do this occasionally to kickstart your sustainability work, and typically we put it on a Saturday and a Sunday morning. So it is 8 o'clock on the 26th of February and on the 27th of February. So it is a kickstart of getting you focused on and getting you super clear on why sustainability and the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, why they are crucial for future business and what you need to do to integrate sustainability into your business strategy. But also, we will also discuss why diversity, equality, and inclusion are key to more sustainable and profitable business, as well as the benefits of getting your sustainability work verified according to ISO 26000 that we just listened to Per-Olof, and how the associated self-declaration questions work. So the masterclass will be held in English, and it's free of charge. It will be on Zoom. And I think my colleague Sarah has put the link in the comments field. Let's see. Yes, you have. We have it here. I will just show it for you. So it is here. Sign up and learn more about the Masterclass Kickstart. And we will also tell you a little bit more about our courses and also about the new course that we have launched, which is the program. It's actually a program about being a certified sustainability manager. And what we have done there is to put together these blocks of business for SDGs, the D&I change leader, which I talked about earlier on, and the Certified Impact Auditor, and also the business for circularity. And let's see, I just want to remove this this comment so that you can see. Yes, so it is, let's see if I can remove the banner as well. And also there is a transformational leadership block, which runs through these blocks of these 4 blocks, where you will study sustainable and transformational leadership. And that is being you will become a part of a mastermind group where you will also learn about Ikigai, which is a Japanese concept meaning a reason for being. So that's also something that we are launching right now. And we will start this in March, this program. And we will tell you more about it in the masterclass. So let's see, there is a comment. Yes, so Sarah, she also added about the Certified Sustainability Manager. You can learn more about that program if you click on this link and read more about it. And if you're interested, you can always schedule a discovery call with me. So there is actually a link to my calendar, and you can book a 30 minutes discovery call and see if it's something for you, and if it's a good match for you and your profession right now. All right. So yeah, it has been 5 minutes now. So we will talk with Anne. Let's see if we have Anne here. And yes, we have. So Anne is also a certified impact auditor, and she is a senior consultant within quality environment and work environment, and she has a specialty for 30 years within management systems for quality environment and work environment. And she's been a specialist, consultant, and accountant. And she has worked in various different industries and gained a really broad perspective on organizations, structure and processes and such. So I would like to welcome Anne. I will play you some trudelutt. Let's see if we have Anne here. Welcome, Anne. Hello. So, how are you, Anne? Oh, Anne, I think you are muted right now. Just see if you can unmute yourself. We don't hear you.
Now I guess it's better.
Yes, now.
Yeah.
Welcome, Anne.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice to have you.
Thank
How are
for
you?
having. I'm fine, thank you. A little bit nervous, but I have doing my menus here.
Yeah, great. So, Anne, I was
Yeah.
introducing you a little bit, and I had difficulties to choose. I mean, you have been in so many different industries and doing so much. So, but if you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I had my thoughts about how to deal with this challenge yesterday evening. So I started to write down and saying, I think I'm the most sustainable person ever. because some weeks ago I had my 60th anniversary, but still I'm 21 in here, so I think that's quite sustainable.
Wow, that's a good point. Yeah, so you turned 60.
Yeah.
Well, I could never have guessed that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
But my husband, though, he took me down on the ground again and said, I told him about that the night before we had the big day, so to say, and he simply replied that, okay, go out and jump over a ditch and tell me if you're still 21. Oh. That man.
Yeah.
But at least we met in 1982. We married 1988, and we have had a lot of fun since then. So we have 3 daughters, and one of them is just coming into the same business area as I am.
Right.
So I think that's very fun.
Yeah. So you're running actually a family business, right?
Well, it has ended up like that in the latest.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So what do you do in your business?
It's a bit weird, but I hooked on management system, as you heard.
Yes.
So I like it so much. So I started my own business in 2016, just for the fun of working with management systems that the companies did not do themselves. So I found that great to have that opportunity. I started my career in healthcare, planning to be a nurse, but it didn't happen because I had dermatologic issues.
Okay.
So I started to educate myself to an engineer.
Yeah.
Within steel industry. So I'm very fond of what's happening in that industry right now, and taking down the coal, carbon dioxide. Yeah. But I'm work with companies, helping them with their management systems.
Yeah, exactly. So you help them with 9001,
14,001 and 45,001.
Yeah,
lately.
Right. Yes. And now 26,000.
Yeah, it's come in. So that has. I think that has given me a more profound understanding this course about what sustainability is, and there's a lot of talk about sustainability and so on, but I think everyone and every company have their own view of what that really is. So I think that is a big role for me to sort that out and have a unite picture of what that is.
So what would you say companies that has ISO 9001 and 14,000 and other management system standards, what is your opinion? How do they benefit of doing the ISO 26,000?
I think that it's a little at Per-Olof was about that. There is already a lot of procedures and routines taking care of a lot of all of, so to say, the background work. But the 26,000 can help the companies in the strategic thinking and apply this on a more profound way.
Okay.
So that's my view of it. So I think to reuse, I wrote down some words: reuse, redo, and upgrade their management systems.
Yeah, right. That was a good summary of it. To upgrade their management system. So if you would give an organization some tips of where to start when it comes to ISO 26,000, what would you say?
Just do it. Just go ahead, get started, because there will not come a bird flying into you and say, do this to save the world. You have to do with little steps.
Yeah. And what is the first step, would you say?
To get to do this self-assessment, I think, is a good step. just
Yeah.
to see what it's all about, and see
Right.
if you don't have a clue what is this, and get help, or otherwise maybe you could check and see that there are a lot of processes already.
Yeah, I agree because as one of I think it was Robert who said that also, that reading the ISO 26000 it's huge. I mean, that takes a lot of time, and it could be like overwhelming. But to start with the 50 questions, that's really concrete. To start to answer those, and as you say, to see what it's all about. It gives you a hunch of what it's all about.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then I would say, don't be afraid to fail. Nothing is perfect at once, and you have to trust the process and learning by doing a little.
Yes, learning by doing. Yes, and well, it's also as if I may comment that don't be afraid of fail or so, but it is not a certification actually, like 9,000 and 14,000. It's a verification about where you're standing right now, so you cannot do any wrongs like that, right?
And then I thought more for a personal level, to engage myself or engage yourself within an organization together with other people who are aiming for the same goal, and burning for the sustainability issues.
Yeah, right.
So
that's wonderful. That's good tips for people out there. And so, and what are your dreams about the future?
I think about my grandkids, and I'm reading the papers. We read about Ukraine. We read about the Great Resignation in the United States, and I think there is so much happening. But I hope that the humanity is taking its förnuft till fånga.
Reasoning about it.
But I think our kids and our grandkids will not accept living like us, to over consume things and not spending enough time with their families and friends and so on. So I think that is what's coming up.
Yep. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ann, for sharing your insights and tips and dreams about the future. It was wonderful to have you here.
Thank you.
And I would like to congratulate you also.
Thank you.
Do you Cheers. And good luck.
Thank you.
With the family business also in the future.
Yeah, thank you.
I will follow your work. Thank you so much, Ann, for being here.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Let's see. Now we have we are at the end soon of this event, but before we head on to the next part is actually to listen into Anna Johansson, who is Quality and Sustainability Manager at GRANULDISK. And GRANULDISK, they have a saying. They say that they are saving the planet one drop at a time. I think that's beautiful. So GRANULDISK, they are on a mission to eliminate the pre-washing and washing in sinks one drop at a time, and at the same time provide the highest performing and most sustainable ware washing solution. So it's a ware washing solution. And thanks to its more sustainable cookware solution, GRANULDISK has been able to change many professional kitchens in the right sustainable direction. And I think that is so wonderful to take part of GRANULDISK and their journey. And Anna has been, she's done the certification course for Business for SDGs, but since then she has worked a lot with the company's sustainability work. So I would like to invite Anna, and I will just have the right banner here. Anna Johansson, who is a quality and sustainability manager at GRANULDISK. And what do you say, Anna? Would you like to have some music? You as well. Anna is right here. Woohoo! Hello, Anna. Welcome to this event and this series. I have to turn the music off.
Yeah.
Well, it's wonderful to have you here.
It's nice to be here. Yes, it's my second time.
Yeah.
You're doing an interview, so yeah.
Yes, because the first time you were a student.
Yes.
Right? Or you were just.
And now this time we have been a pilot company.
Yes.
For the ISO 26000.
Yeah, right. So this is really interesting because I wanted to bring on a company that has been a pilot, and it was actually Ashwarya, who she's not here today, but she piloted her knowledge of the Certified Impact Auditor and ISO 26000 to your company. And I would love to hear about how you benefited from being a pilot company, as we call it.
No, we have been working a lot with the sustainability, and we have created a sustainability strategy, and we have started a sustainability forum. We are an international company, so we have offices in India, Singapore, France, Germany, and UK. So in this forum, we are getting together and talk about risks and opportunities regarding sustainability issues, and also how we can help our customers to fulfill their environmental goals by using our machines. But this to be a pilot company, it was good to have someone else who was listening to us and reading our answers to all the questions. Because when you're sitting in your office and we are not a big company, you speak a lot. We don't know if someone else can understand it, and is it for real, or it's good to have someone who's looking at it and ask questions and let us explain how we mean and how we can. Also, she gave us a lot of improvements, so we can have it for help forward.
Yeah, right.
And it was also fun because she was in India.
Yeah.
And she had the opportunity to go to our office and meet our salesman Rajendra at the office. So she could have a look at the machines, and he explained how we can help our customers to save more water and save the planet one drop at a time.
Yeah, that was fantastic. She just had the opportunity to travel to India at that point of time, so it was fantastic. But as you say, to have that outside the other perspective, outside perspective for you to have someone who is not involved in the company to look at your sustainability work. So
it was good. Sometimes you need to have someone else who's just asking questions and it was me and our CEO who did this work, answering the questions and had the interviews and so on. because he is very involved in this work as well.
Yeah.
And I think that is a key to work with it and implement it in the organization. That the management and the CEO is involved.
Yeah, absolutely. I would also say that companies that have their CEO engaged and the management team are, I mean, they are performing a lot better and implementing the work more easily. So that's a key. So, but what did you think about the 50 questions then? How did you experience that? Was it difficult or easy, or what is your opinion?
Some questions, wasn't that easy to answer. But we had good discussions, and it's also good to sit down and what are we doing?
Yeah.
Are we doing anything about this, and how do we work in the organization about with this question? So, but it was good questions. But then we in Sweden, we don't work that much with volunteers work.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Volunteer,
but this was important for Ashvaria that we did. But in Sweden, we don't work like that. But we do other things. But
yes.
Yeah.
So that could be, I mean, a part of having voluntary work, but that's I would also say that being a company needs to be in a strategic way, how you incorporate sustainability in your strategy, in your business strategy. And of course you can have some voluntary work as well, but
yes, of course,
but the important thing is to have it in your strategy. And what are your so your sustainability journey, if we just take a step back, it all started right with the value chain. You identified your value chain.
We have been ISO certified since 2006, according to 14001. So environmental work has been very important for us. But in the autumn of 2019, we began our work moving to talk about sustainability instead of just environmental. So we started to take help from a consulting firm. And we also decided to work with the sustainability goals. So we had a workshop with a lot of participants from the company in different functions. And the purpose was to understand which goals are the most relevant for us and our customers, and where we can contribute the most. So, and after that, I got in touch with you, and I started this course, Business for SDGs. And it was very good because it was good to have all these digital sessions by you. You were explaining everything, and then we had some homework and self-studies. And then the course, the goal of the course for me was to create a sustainability strategy, and we did, and we also have implemented it in the organization. And we are working with it, and right now we are doing some updates, especially with the SWOT analysis and so on, because it's happening a lot in the world right now. So we need to understand what is important for us to work with.
Yes. Right. So that's important. The SWOT, actually, you just brought it up, that SWOT, this strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. That's like a strategic exercise for the company, and it's really funny because a couple of years ago it was like you did the SWOT like every 5th year, and then it turned to every maybe 3rd year, every second year, and now you almost have to do it every year.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And we think also that the value chain is important.
Yeah.
Just to know where can you improve, and also you can't do more improvements in some parts of the value chain.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I see a comment here. Ashwarya is also here. Hello, Eva. I'm here listening to. Yeah. So just for the audience to understand and know, Ashwarya was the one who piloted her knowledge to GRANULDISK. And she was in India also at that point of time. So it just was like it wasn't planned, or it was just a timing, actually.
A good timing.
Good timing, and she could actually see your plant in India. So that was amazing. So, and now you're working on her. Because each course participants, they do their observations and also suggesting their improvements for you to handle. So now you're working with that, right? With just
yes, we have started. It's a lot of good insights in the report. It's a long report, and it's good for us to understand what we need to work with. So we're going to implement and work with that during the year, and then hopefully we can verify us. Yeah. It's the plan.
Yeah. And it's a good thing because now you got the pre-verification and can do some work and then do a final or full verification.
Yeah, and some questions we just need to clarify, and maybe we need to explain in another way to understand.
Yeah.
That's also important, how we communicate. So that's also good to have a third part who's looking at our answers and give us help to communicate in a better way.
Yes. Yeah, and we had, I don't know if you listened to Maria, for example, Lindberger Howard, about the communication, and Nina also talked about communicating, how important it is to have it with you all the way, to address different stakeholders and so on. So I would like to ask you about the future, the dreams about the future, but instead I will ask, like, GRANULDISK, what are the dreams for GRANULDISK for the future?
It's a good question.
Yeah, I
know. We want more customers that they can understand how good this machine is and how much water, chemicals, and energy they can save. And also, it's good for the work environment because it's heavy to do it by hand. And by using our machines, you can help them in the kitchen.
Yeah. So, how much water do you save by your technique or technology?
Oh, it's different. So we do case studies. When we go to a new customer, we not always, but if they want to measure the savings, we do a case studies. So it's different. It's because they handle the pre-wash in a different way, and how they do with the sinks and so on. So case studies is a good way for us to help them, and also for us to show how much they can save.
But they save water and they also save energy, or?
Yes, and chemicals.
And chemicals.
Yes.
Right. And the work environment.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
It's heavy to wash pots and pans by hand. Glasses and plates, it's not that heavy, but pots and pans, it's heavy to handle.
Of course, especially in schools and and restaurants with
Yes.
big. Yeah. Wonderful. Oh, it will be so nice to follow your work, and I'm so happy that you was able to be here with us, and also that Sarita, she just wrote the short comment. Pop up, yes. So just one more question, because as you as a sustainability manager working, I mean, you have been working with sustainability now for a couple of years here now at GRANULDISK. What would you say? What are your tips for companies to get started with their sustainability work?
I think it's important that the management is involved in the work from the beginning. Otherwise, it's not easy to implement and start to work. And for us, it was good to have to start with this workshop. So we have a common ground, and then we talk the same language, and we know where to go. And for us, it's a help now to have this sustainability strategy. We can understand what sustainability is for us, for GRANULDISK, and how we work. It's also important. And we can have the same view of it and understand what activities we are connected to it. And then we also can help our customers to achieve their goals. So that's my tip. You need to have the management. It's good to have a workshop or similar like that, and then have a strategy for the company. So you have the same understanding of what we're talking about.
Right. That's a good conclusion. Thank you for sharing that. And people out there, get started and look at GRANULDISK, their homepage, and you will soon launch your sustainability report, right?
No, because we don't need to. No, because we don't need to do a report. No. So that's why we have the opportunity to work with the sustainability strategy instead, and work in all our processes and so on. But in the future, we will do a report.
Yeah. But we can read about your work on your page, right?
Yes, you can.
So people, get into GRANULDISK homepage and read about it. And I wish you the best of luck, Anna. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. That was wonderful to listen into GRANULDISK. And we had actually, I just want to mention, we had Therese and Åse also scheduled on the event. Therese Bülow and Åse Beiram Olofsson from Q Group. However, they didn't make it today, so we will do an exclusive interview with them and share it with you. But they couldn't manage to come here today. I just wanted to highlight that if you are waiting for them. But now we have Maria Svantemark. She it will be so nice to listen into her, because there is actually a story around her, how it all started with sustainability, and this is something I found on their homepage, and I just want to share it with you. So this story, Maria, she became a champion for the planet as a child, and the day she realized her family was using chlorine bleached toilet paper and unknowingly hurting the environment, she grew up and became a sustainability manager for a large multinational company, but was frustrated by the lack of high quality sustainability data at her company and recognized it as a blocker for the transition to the sustainable society that we need. So we will listen into her, and she will share SustainLab's impact startup journey, as well as their sustainability focus for the future. And the SustainLab was also one of the pilot companies in the certification course for the Impact Auditor we listened to Robert Bengtsson, who was taking on SustainLab as his pilot case. And yeah, so I will play some music for you as well, Maria. Let's see, get on stage. Woohoo! Where are you? I just want to add you to the screen. Maria, welcome. Hello. Welcome, Maria. It's wonderful to have you.
Thanks a lot. It's great to be here. Yeah. It's very nice with the music intro. It gets very energetic right away.
Yes, that was a new feature on the StreamYard.
Oh, good feature.
Yes. So how are you, Maria?
I'm very good. Thanks. How are you? How has the life been?
Yeah, I'm also very good. It has been fantastic to listen to all these wonderful change leaders now since 1 o'clock. And we had Robert with us also. I don't think he's here right now, or I cannot see him. Yeah, he is here. Maybe we'll bring him up to the stage. So Maria, tell us a little bit about yourself and also about SustainLab. We want to understand what do you do?
Yeah, so I heard your intro about me, and actually when we wrote that, our communication person, she said, like, do we need to write toilet paper? Can't we write tissues instead? I was like, no, it needs to be authentic. It was toilet paper. So it definitely started there for me with sustainability at quite early age. So sustainability and impact has really been at my core. And as you said, I worked as sustainability manager in a large company. And I also think, listening to the others, for example, right before saying you need to have the board, the management team on board, you need to do all of these things. Like, I definitely recognize that. And when I left that company, I started thinking about, so what could I do that's helping more companies than just one company at a time? And one of the things that came back to me and again was the lack of data and how that inhibits progress.
Yeah.
And I think that was also interesting in kind of this whole process with ISO 26000, because there also, of course, data is important. How do we prove this? How do we control this? How do we measure this? And a lot of companies struggle. So I teamed up with my co-founder, Kamal. He has a PhD in computer science, so very different from my background, and said, so let's solve this by automating data collection.
Yeah.
So that's what we do with SustainLab. It's a SaaS, so a software, sustainability management software. And we automate all the data handling you need for your sustainability work. So when GRANULDISK want to do their sustainability report, they should use our tool. Or actually anyone who wants to have insights into their impact and sustainability work.
Right. That's fantastic. I hope Anna listens to this now. But yeah, so you were one of the pilot companies, and but first of all, why did you decide to become a pilot company?
Yeah, I think it's like, besides from what we do with automating data handling, another thing we want to do is also help companies work better with sustainability. And I think that comes back to our own company first. We need to make sure we walk the talk. Yeah. We're not doing this for some greenwashing purposes. We want to know that we can be proud of what we're doing. So that was one reason. Another reason was also to learn about this new standard and process and how does it work and how does this team of change makers work to make this happen in companies. And to me, it was also interesting because in my previous job, I worked with ISO 14000. I worked with other standards and certifications. So I also wanted to have a feeling for how does it work when you're a much smaller company.
Yeah.
So multiple reasons.
Yeah. So what would you say about being because you're a startup, right? You came from a big company. So what are your insights about being a startup and working with the ISO 26000?
So I think one of the main things is the reason why we started SustainLab was to create change and impact. And I think the ISO 26 kind of the questionnaire didn't always fit to that purpose. I could see this would fit perfectly well in my old job, and but some parts didn't really fit because sustainability is so integrated into everything we do. So one example is we measure our business success by the sustainability impact we create for our customers.
Yeah.
So that's the most important KPI, which we revisit every 3 weeks. And then, publishing the latest figure is not really relevant because it would get outdated so often. So I think that was one of the key reflections I had, that, some parts fitted well, others not so well. And then one thing that I really liked about it is that you need to understand kind of the system around sustainability quite well to be able to answer the questions in a good way. And as I said, I've done this a few times, so I felt confident in that. But I think that will be very good for companies where this might be the first certification they do. I think they will have a good starting point about understanding that it's all interlinked and it's actually a system we're talking about here and not linear processes.
Right.
So that was another reflection I did. I think it will be a good starting point.
Yeah, and it's a guiding standard, so it is, as you say, it's guiding organizations of doing their sustainability work. Yeah, so this is a verification, and you've done certifications, right?
Yeah.
Could you see any difference, or what is your insights about the difference between these two?
So, I had a lot of help from Robert and his questions, and I think he saw some of the questions a bit differently. So having this external person coming and prompting questions, and have you thought about this? Or I understand your company is doing that. I think that was very helpful, and a difference from how I worked before. And I would just encourage all of the people now that are capable of doing these verifications for other companies. Those questions are what was helpful. So don't be afraid of asking tough questions, because that's what's going to help companies.
Yeah.
So that was probably the main difference I saw from how I've worked before.
Yeah, right. If you would give another startup some tips of how to get started, because you have worked with sustainability before, and you know the area and so on, but what are your tips for a startup? How do you go about it?
Yeah, I would say, when starting a company, there's a lot of things you need to do that you might not love. For me, it was all of the bookkeeping and budgeting and that part of the company, which might not be my favorite thing to do. But I had to do it because, if you want to apply for money, if you want to attract investors, whatever, you need to do it. And also to know, how much money can I spend?
Yeah.
And I would encourage other startups to look at sustainability the same way. They might not love it at first because it's a kind of complex and big area, but compared to bookkeeping, it's so much more exciting. They should love it. And I can also feel like it's so much work working in a startup. Why doing it if you don't have a greater purpose?
Yes.
So, and then really start understanding the area and start understanding, maybe your number one impact. And if you don't know where to look, it is probably where you are earning or are going to earn most money. So for us, basically all the impact we create is through our customers. We're a SaaS company, also remote. We don't travel. We don't go anywhere. We don't have an office space. Kind of our direct impact is electricity to power our computers. So understanding it, like where you earn your money, that's where your impact is. And how can you then ensure a business model that when you earn more money, it's also better for the society? I think that's a good starting point.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's good. So, was it anything that you think was is difficult or challenging
in the verification process?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
I mean, to us, it was, understanding how these questions would apply to us. Some of them felt like they didn't fit, and then some of them I think still didn't fit, but some fit better after Robert explaining, you could think like this or you can think like that. And also what I think is a benefit, what I said before, this kind of, you understand the holistic aspect of sustainability, but understanding, okay, it's this part of the process that they're asking for here, and it's this part of the process that they're asking for here, and differentiate them. So it's also valuable, it shouldn't just be a one-time thing you do for the sake of doing it. It should be a valuable guiding document, and then you need to work through it.
Yeah. And did you read the whole ISO 26000 or I just need to?
Is this a quiz or? No, I believe in transparency. No, I didn't. I need to admit, I read quite large chunks of it, but some parts I skipped, and some parts I also felt, where I felt, okay, I understand what this is about from previous work. I can probably read this a bit lighter, but no, I did not read every word.
No, and I think that's great that you say that, because as we heard before, it is, the standard is a huge standard, and but what we have done in Sweden is the self-declaration part, where we have also integrated the SDGs into the self-declaration, and that is the tool. And then you can always look into the ISO 26000 and pick those areas that is applicable for you, because as you say, as a startup, you are not always you have to develop as a company also to be able to do some of the things that it's in the standard.
No, and I think that's probably also great advice, also to kind of slice the cake. Don't be afraid because it looks daunting, because you can't take it one piece at a time.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Great. I was like, this is not planned, but what do you think if I put Robert on the stream?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, let's see if we can add Robert. Hello.
Hey, Maria.
Hey, Robert.
Yeah.
I saw that you were in the green room.
Yeah, I was here listening in. Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
I said it before, Maria. I will say it again. So I appreciate a lot your participation there and the open dialogue we had there. So thanks a lot for that.
Yeah, thank you. Likewise.
So, Robert, you were listening now, and do you have any reflections or something you would like to add around the verification and the pilot?
I think it was covered quite well from how I see it as well, what Maria explained here. And I understand that it's, of course, a big difference if you're working in a big company, and also, of course, which phase you are in the company, if you're a startup, and naturally also the scope of what you're doing there. But I think from what I've seen so far and from what I learned, that those 50 questions, they can be relevant for all sizes, all types of organization. But of course, you will have to translate it into your own situation there, and some may be more relevant than others, of course, depending on what you're doing and how you're doing things.
Yeah.
And I think that one benefit of starting early, we do the same with, for example, one thing that me and Robert discussed quite a lot is how we work with gender equality and inclusion in our company. And if you just start early from scratch, then you know what you're doing and you build that culture as well. So I think it has a value to start early, even though parts of it will not be applicable because you need to grow first.
Right.
But then you can take them as you go.
Yes. And that's building your culture, as you say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Absolutely.
Okay, Maria, would you like to add something else to this interview? Something that you have thought about?
I mean, I can just repeat myself about don't be afraid of asking tough questions, whether you are, someone who's going to work with this standard like Robert, or if you are within a company. I mean, there's always going to be need for tough questions, and they might not always be comfortable, but I think that's advice I would give, because that's also what helped me in this process with Robert, for example. So I think that's advice I would give to everyone. And then, I mean, when you've done this and you start to understand that we need to understand our impact better and we probably need to track it better, then it's SustainLab you should come to, and we help you with that, the next step.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That was my actually next question. Who would be your dream customer? I mean, who would like benefit from your platform, your SaaS platform?
Yeah, so I mean, in terms of dream customer, I think everyone who wants to make a difference is someone I want to collaborate with. But in terms of who benefits at this point in time of our platform, it would be a bit of a larger company, mid-size to large-size company that feels like, okay, maybe you started working a bit with sustainability, maybe you went through this verification process and feel like, okay, we need to have better control of our data, sustainability data, no matter if that's within the environmental space or social space or governance, then it's the right time to come to us.
Right, that's good. So that's good. People out there, just check out SustainLab and your homepage as well. And you can write it in the chat also, your address to the homepage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much, both of you, that you were here on this stream. And I wish you the best of luck, SustainLab and Robert and Maria.
Thank you.
Good luck, Maria. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Oops. Let's see. All right, then. Now we had listened into SustainLab and Maria. So she will share their homepage. And you can just look into their software as well. Very exciting. So now we have come to the end, actually, and for this celebration. And I'm so happy that all of you managed to come here. But we had more people actually being certified. So we are publishing and celebrating them on the social media. So you will see me sharing that they have completed their certification courses, and it is important to celebrate. That's one of my, that's something I always encourage teams also to do, to celebrate accomplishments. So thank you for being here, celebrating with me. And last thing is, again, we will have the Kickstart. If you are interested into sustainability, how to start working with it and understand how sustainable development and also diversity can benefit your company and the profit of your company, then please do join us early Saturday and Sunday morning, 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. Central European time. So I know there are some of you in Brazil, for example. It's really early in the morning, so and late in the evening. So yeah. But sign up and let's see if I can record it and send it to you afterwards. I have some comments here. I just want to see if we can see. Yeah, it is Maria who's writing in the chat. So feel free to connect, and also connect with all the other participants as well, because networking is important and really good to do. So grow your network. Thank you everyone for being here today, and I will see you soon. Bye bye. Thank you.